Hi, PerspectiveWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday, October 22nd. We're kind of stuck in the same pattern here in the Mid-Atlantic region with late night and morning patchy fog and drizzle, then partly sunny skies in the afternoon. Still pretty mild for this time of the year, and it looks like this same pattern will continue for the next couple of days. However, by Sunday, a decent cold front will push through the region and it'll turn noticeably cooler on Sunday, probably highs confined to the 50s, mid and upper 50s for the most part in the DC, Philadelphia, New York City corridor as compared with the 70s over the next few days. We still have tropical activity to talk about, and to the north and west we have significant accumulating snow to talk about for the next several days. First of all, let's take a look at the tropical region, the Atlantic Basin. Epsilon, still a hurricane at maximum sustained winds about 100 miles per hour. It will turn in this fashion here over the next few days out even farther away from the U.S. East Coast to the north and east. Ultimately may become a decent sized storm, a decent extratropical storm for Iceland. But again, no threat to the U.S. mainland right now. There is another wave that has popped up in the Caribbean Sea. And again, the Caribbean Sea, the Gulf of Mexico region are areas to continue to monitor over the next few weeks as we slope down in the tropical season. But these waters are still quite warm. This will meander around for a couple of days, may cross over Cuba. We'll have to keep our eye on it, but again, no imminent threat from either of these systems for the U.S. mainland. And specifically in terms of the potential track for Hurricane Epsilon, here is the latest from the National Hurricane Center. Comes fairly close to Bermuda. Bermuda right in this region right here, so not a direct hit. It does remain a hurricane for the next few days. Then over the weekend it starts to accelerate to the north and east. And here's Iceland right here. Very well could be a pretty decent extratropical type storm by the time it gets to Iceland early part of next week. Well, in terms of snowfall to the north and west, significant amounts in some areas over the next 5 days. This is the 5-day forecast map from the 6Z operational run of the GFS. A couple things that are pretty interesting here. First of all, a stripe of significant snow right in this fashion like this all the way into southeastern Canada, some areas near a foot of snow. And this is on top of what has fallen over the last few days. Again, this past week in parts of Montana, Great Falls, for example, had the most snow they've ever had in October in a single day. Even on a 2-day total, Great Falls, Montana had the most snow ever for an October 2-day period. And the other interesting facet here for the next 5 days, look how far to the south this snow cover advances all the way into the panhandle region of Texas over the next few days. So Colorado and all the way down to New Mexico into northern Texas, accumulating snow for the next 5 days here. So at the same time we have tropical activity in the Atlantic Basin, a lot of cold air. And by the way, there will be some record low temperatures associated with this cold blast for the Rockies, the northern plain, excuse me, and the interior part of the Northwest. Basically in this whole area here, watch for some record low temperatures over the next few days to go along with this accumulating snowfall. Well, let's now walk through the surface forecast maps from the 6Z GFS model run. High pressure still basically in control, but all that has done is produce some stagnant air in the Mid-Atlantic region, and this is the time of the year where fog, late night fog, early morning fog is much more prevalent, because you still have enough moisture in the atmosphere to lead to fog. You have increasingly longer and longer nights that allow the atmosphere to cool down to the dew point. And that, in fact, is what happened over the last few nights across DC, Philadelphia, New York City, and surrounding suburbs. And the same pattern will continue for the next couple of mornings with some sunshine possible during the afternoon hours. A mild pattern here. But now let's push forward here, and we'll see that it tends to get cleansed out by Sunday when this frontal system, this is the Friday evening forecast map, but then there's kind of a secondary push here. By the time we get to Sunday morning, definitely a little bit cooler conditions here. You see these thickness lines represented by the red dashed lines. They drop between Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Noticeably cooler for Sunday. Again, high temperatures along the I-95 corridor, probably confined to the mid and upper 50s on Sunday as compared with the 70s over the next few days. And look at here, we have this very cold air mass for the this time of the year that will plunge from southern Canada all the way down into northern Texas, resulting in some significant snow. And again, this is a little different from the last snow event in that it drops all the way down into New Mexico and northern Texas here over the weekend into the early part of next week. Eventually some of this cooler air makes its way into the northeast U.S., but a very healthy looking winter storm for Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico late in the weekend, early part of next week. This is the forecast map for a Tuesday afternoon, and some of this rain will head on into the Mid-Atlantic region by the time we get to the middle part of next week. But certainly a winter-like pattern, not only across the northwest and the northern plains, but this time all the way down to Texas. There will be some accumulating snow, and again, watch out for some record low temperatures over the next several days across the Rockies, the interior northwest, the northern plains, and all the way down into the southern plains of Texas and Oklahoma, for example. That's it for now. For PerspectiveWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.